The following program is a Town of Colonie television production of the William K. Sanford Town Library.
Welcome to Getting to Know You. My name is Joe Nash. Today we're going to be talking to Nicole Zelka. She is actually from Colonie, and she is starting her career in musical theater, and I should say professional musical theater. She's going to be, starting this fall, she's going to be on the national tour of Rodgers and Hammerstein's Cinderella, which is going to go all over the country. We'll talk about that. You may have seen her in the last couple of years in some local productions. She was down at Cap Rep in Mamma Mia, Park Playhouse, but she was in the Pajama Game. The Colonie Line and Q, she was in Beauty and the Beast. She played Belle. You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown. She was on Debut Theater Company. She was also in the Park Playhouse. That must have been last year, Shrek the Musical. And she was in Legally Blonde over in Cohoes Music Hall before their unfortunate closing. But, so I like those guys. So welcome.
Yeah, they're great.
So welcome, Nicole.
Thank you.
So let me start with the obvious question. When did you get bitten by the theater bug? You've been doing this since you were a kid, and now you're about to start on a professional career. How did this all start?
Yeah, so I grew up seeing my older sister in shows at Sand Creek Middle School, directed by the fabulous Dylan Wickham. And their program is great for little, younger kids. And I just watched her doing, she just did it because we grew up seeing shows there younger.
So Sand Creek actually has a program?
Yeah, they have a drama club.
Oh, okay.
And they do 2 musicals a year. And I just watched my older sister do them, and as soon as I got to middle school and had the opportunity to do so, I joined the club. And as soon as I did Annie in 5th grade, and I was a little orphan, and I remember singing It's a Hard Knock Life and being on stage and being like, oh, this is the best thing in the world. So once that kind of took off, and I realized in 5th grade I saw my first Broadway show. I saw Mary Poppins, and I sat in the rear mezzanine, and Mary floats above the theater at the end of the show, and we made eye contact, and I thought it was the coolest thing in the world.
I see what you're saying. When she leaves, so she flew right over you.
Yeah.
All right.
So I saw that, and I was like, this is so, I can't believe people are doing this for a job. Not sitting in a cubicle all day, and they're making money off of this. So I became obsessed. I asked for Broadway posters every Christmas and birthday to hang in my room. And then 6th grade, I started branching out into community theater in the area.
Mean going beyond just school?
Just school,
thing. Oh, okay.
Yeah. And there's really great programs around this area. We're really lucky. The Capital Region has so many community theater opportunities. Yes. So I started at Debut Theater, which used to be in a little building in Westgate Plaza by Price Chopper.
Okay, yeah.
But that building's now gone, and they're actually located at the Spotted Zebra Learning Center now, right on Computer East Drive. And Jason Ford runs that program, and he's the reason I'm doing this. I love it.
Now, were they always musicals you were in, or were you in regular straight plays?
I did a straight play in high school, and I got really into straight plays when I went to school in New York for 2 years.
But the musicals
was my main thing. So I did, when I was younger, I started in their youth program at Debuts. Did Charlie Brown, did a show called Really Rosie. It's Carole King.
Oh, okay.
And then I branched out to Cohoes with Tony and Jim. And
now, were you also doing your high school productions?
Yeah, on and off. I did all my middle school shows. I did my freshman year of high school shows at Colonie.
Okay.
And then I started doing the community stuff more and stopped at the high school because I loved meeting the people, because all these kids were from around
the whole area.
Yeah, I had friends from Notre Dame, Bishop McGinn. I loved that aspect of meeting new people.
Okay. And what were you in Cohoes?
Yeah, so my first show with them was Legally Blonde, my freshman year, and then I did Once on This Island. And then what else? Oh, I did Rent, which was the coolest thing my junior year. Yeah, school edition,
So
of course.
it sounds like you have a good foundation here to start.
Yeah.
So then what happened after the high school? How did you?
So my senior year, I started applying to schools for musical theater, and that's so crazy nowadays. Everyone is going to school for this. And the application and audition process is very hard. A lot of girls who look like me, who sing really high and have brown hair, apply to like 20 plus schools.
Okay.
And you know, application fees and audition fees add up. They're two different fees. So
You have to actually pay to audition.
yeah,
All right.
yeah. So it's like an application fee.
Now,
but it's additional.
are these schools that only concentrate on theater, or is it a regular college?
No, a lot of them are universities and just have the program.
Theater
within.
department, okay.
Yeah. So I ended up only auditioning for like 5
Yeah.
schools. I just didn't want the stress of having 20 plus applications. It was a lot. So I ended up not getting into any of my programs.
Okay.
Yeah, it was like, I thought it was the end of the world my senior year. And then May 1st came around, National College Decision Day, and I still didn't have a school because I didn't want to go to a
Yeah.
university and not be in the program I wanted to.
I see.
But May 17th, a couple of people I talked to who had went to the school, they were like, audition at AMDA, which is the American Music and Dramatic Academy in New York. They have a New York campus and an LA campus, but I chose the New York one.
But that you didn't originally apply there.
No,
right?
no.
And this is a very specialized American Musical and Dramatic Academy. It's a 2-year program.
Yes.
And okay, so it's not like going to a theater department at a
No,
college.
it's a conservatory.
All right. So how did that? It looks like it worked out pretty good here.
Yeah.
I'm looking at your resume.
Yeah, so it's a 2-year program, their New York campus. And they have an acting, integrated musical theater program, and a dance program. And I applied to the musical theater program, auditioned May 17th, and found out 2 weeks later that I got in. So my parents were super on board, super supportive, and they were like, okay, in the fall we're going.
So but let me just stop because I had a quick
Yeah.
question. Why, this is supposed to be a very good place to go for musical theater and acting. How come you originally didn't apply there?
I think I was so stuck in the mindset of getting a BFA, which is the Bachelor of Fine Arts, going to a 4-year school. I mean, seeing all these like alumni from other school, I was just so into it. And then I was like, why? I'm not much of a school person anyway.
Yeah.
Like I love.
So this program, it looks like it's 2 years, but it's totally concentrated on the theater
Musical
arts.
theater, yes,
Okay.
yes.
And you chose, they have several programs, but you chose the one that is called the integrated program, acting, dance, and musical theater.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
that's what they call the triple threat performer.
Yes.
Right?
So I got there in October. It's a trimester program, so my summer was a little longer. And it was hard the first couple months getting thrown into New York like that. There's no meal plan there, so
Okay.
it's really, you're living on your own, making meal prepping and everything.
And how many people are in this program?
Well, they accept a good amount, but we're all separated in different groups. So I had about 15 to 19 people in my class.
All right.
But yeah, I mean, it was great. And we had class, I mean, sometimes you have class 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Like,
right.
it's no joke.
And then does this place, what do you call this, AMDA, do they put on shows?
No. At their New York campus, since it's so quickly processed, the 2-year program, you don't have the opportunity to do that, but you do have a showcase 4th semester, which is, you have a drama showcase, which is all from straight plays, acting scenes, and then a musical showcase, which people will get solos and duets and group numbers. And that's to bring in, agents, managers.
So I was just going to say, you were ahead of me here.
Oh,
When you do these things, who comes to these performances? You're just
Yes.
saying agents and
Yeah.
all right.
So your 4th semester, which is your last semester in the New York campus, you have a panel night, which is just a night with your musical theater teachers. They prep you, have audition cuts and a duet combo, and they invite their friends who are managers and agents and casting directors just to they basically judge you. If they're interested in you, they'll reach out to you, but you really get just a sheet back and you're like, you can improve on this. I really loved this song for you. But after that is over, you have your drama and musical showcase.
So but you can also, when you go to what do you call it, not tryouts, when you go to auditions, you can say you went to AMDA. That would be
Absolutely,
people,
yeah.
People
And
would look at that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And actually, we just got I think it was top 4 on Playbill for most represented school on Broadway. So.
All right. So, and I noticed in AMDA, you have, it sounds very intense.
Yes.
So you have classes in musical theater, acting, voice, dance, and then it says here master classes,
Yeah.
whatever it was. Just talk a little bit about each one, like how intense each one was.
Yeah, so you have one musical theater class, which is just with your whole class, and you're singing a song, and a teacher will coach you through the song. And then an acting class is you work on a scene with a partner or a group of people. And then your dance classes, you have jazz, tap, theater dance, and ballet.
Okay.
So yeah.
And then what's that mean?
Master classes are, I had the opportunity since I was in the city to take different master classes from different programs
Okay.
just with like notable people.
Well, the reason I was asking because I noticed some of the teachers here. Jesse Mueller is a very
Yeah,
famous.
big deal. My first semester, there's a program down in the city called the Broadway Workshop, and she was hosting a master class with them, so I just took it. It was just a one-day thing.
I see. All right. So, did you miss not doing shows during your 2 years?
A little bit, yeah. It was weird. My showcase, my senior showcase, which was my fourth semester showcase, was in May, and it was like the first time I was on stage again, performing a show.
This past May?
Yeah, for
Okay.
my musical showcase. And it was weird, but doing Mamma Mia this summer, it was so weird, but it was fun to be back on stage.
So, what did you do in your showcase?
What did I say? I sang I Found a New Baby from Bullets Over Broadway.
Okay.
And then our group opened with It's Today from Mame.
Oh, so you do a group thing?
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds like.
It's like a bunch of different duets and solos from different shows, and they try to put a show together with it.
So now it does sound like, it sounds very intense, and it sounds like it's a lot of fun, though.
It is, and it's so fun to be in the city. I mean, like I said earlier, you're really just thrown into the city, and it's hard your first couple weeks and months, and you're homesick, and you're making food by yourself, and living in a small dorm in New York.
Well, they always say you should live in New York City when you're young.
So. Yeah. So I love it, and I can't wait to get back there.
So I see you're going back today as we film the day.
Yeah,
we film
yeah.
this. All right.
Just for a quick visit.
So you graduated in May, and now starting in October, you're going to be on a national tour of Cinderella, Rodgers and Hammerstein Cinderella. Sounds like you got a job pretty quick. So how did this all come about?
Yeah. So your fourth semester at AMDA, your classes are actually at night. They're 5 p.m. to 11 p.m., which they encourage fourth semesters to get out and audition.
Oh, during the okay.
Yeah. So as soon as I was fourth semester, I learned from going and like seeing what these girls are wearing and what they're singing, and that's how I love being in the room.
I know it's a stereotype, but is there really, when you go to these, are there hundreds of people for?
Sometimes, yeah. I mean, a lot. The first one, my Cinderella one, I was actually lucky enough to get an appointment, but there was like a waiting list, and there were at least 50 other girls in the room.
Okay.
Yeah. So I.
So you started going to auditions. Okay.
Yep, I went to a couple just to like get the hang of it, see what everyone's doing and what it's like the experience. And I think it was beginning of February, there was a posting for the new cast of Rodgers and Hammerstein Cinderella. So I went online, got myself an appointment, lucky enough, they had like a Sign Up Genius. Yeah. And I went in and I sang, and I just went in for fun. I was like, this is cool, like whatever. And I sang Warm All Over from The Most Happy Fella. They asked for like a classical piece.
You chose that song.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I went in, it went fine. And like a week later, I got an email for a callback, and I was like, oh, like this is cool. Prior, I was like in callbacks. Well, I was in callbacks for Mrs. Potts on the Disney cruise.
All right.
And it was fun, but it was like I hadn't heard from them, so I was like, oh, another callback. Like this is fun. So I went in for that, and they gave me material for Gabrielle, which is the stepsister. And then her track understudies Marie, who's the fairy godmother. Mm-hmm. So I went in with Gabrielle material.
So that means just you got to know two parts if you were to.
Yeah. So I had that material prepared, went in, had fun. It was just with the casting director who was in the room. And she like worked with me a little bit on the pieces, the sides, like from the scenes, and then the music. She was like, do it this way, change this, keep that. So I kept doing it, and I think it was more of like, can she take the note kind of thing? And that was fine, and I was like, okay, cool. Like 2 weeks later, I got another call back, and I was like, I had a suite mate at the time, and I was like, Megan, I was like, I just got another email. Like, this is so weird. I called my mom. I was like, what's happening? Like, this is fun. Whatever.
No, is this the first time?
This was the first time
You ever
I
got a second call?
Yeah.
All right.
So I went in again, and I'm just like going in, just like it's fun. Like I was like, I'm not gonna freak myself out about it. I was like, I probably won't get it. I'm just gonna go in prepared, do my thing, and leave. So I did it again, had the same sides, nothing changed, and then it was the casting director and the director of the show.
Oh, okay.
So she worked with me a little bit, and then that was fine. And then I feel like it was almost a month later, I was in my musical showcase auditions, and at night I got another email for a third, and it said
this past summer.
This was probably like beginning of April by the time,
all right.
maybe end of March. So I get an email that's like final callbacks for Rodgers, Hammerstein, Cinderella, and I was like, what's happening? I was like, this is so weird. So again, same material I go in with. I knew it by heart by the time, and I was super comfortable with the material. So I went in, had fun again, and I actually had to leave my musical showcase auditions and being like, hey, I have a final callback for this. I need to peace out. And so I went in, and it was a room full of people. It was like producers, the director, the casting director, musical director. It was.
But you didn't know they were all going to be there.
Right. I kind of figured that it was going to be more people because it was just different people every time. But I walked in, it was a bigger room, and I was like, hello, everyone. So I went in, did it, and they were like, great, thank you so much, Nicole. And at the time, I went in, and each time there was less girls going in for the role. And this time, I think there was only 3 other girls going in, not including me. So 4 girls. Maybe, I could be wrong. And so about 2 weeks later, I got a phone call. I was brushing my teeth in my dorm. And I answered the phone, and I was like, hello? And at the time, I was getting really annoying telemarketer numbers being you just won a trip to the Bahamas. So I figured it was that number. And it was a girl, and she was like, hi, I'm calling in behalf of Rodgers and Hammerstein Cinderella. And I was like, what? And she was like, yeah, we'd like to offer you the role of Gabrielle and understudy Marie. And I started crying. And at the time, I was not even done with school. Yeah. And I had always dreamed of this.
And had you still been going on other auditions?
Yeah, yeah. Because you don't know. You don't know if you're going to book it or not. And the experience is great to just keep going into the room. So I did that, and
so what did they say at your school when you were?
Well, no, I was sobbing, and I was like, I haven't even graduated yet, blah, blah. She was like, no, it's fine, congratulations. Because, I tend to walk in the room and they think that I'm 25, but I just turned 20.
Okay.
So I think she was a little shocked when I was like, I'm not even done with school yet, but at the time I would have been. I'm done in May now. But it was fun. I'll never forget the day. I have marked on my calendar now, my phone being
Now, when you were in the room with everybody, do they film these auditions?
Sometimes. I don't think, just to remind them what this person is and how they did. But I don't remember a camera being in.
So you haven't started rehearsals. So how does this all work? This tour goes, it starts in Anchorage, Alaska in October. It ends in January in Cheyenne, Wyoming, but that's only the first leg. I didn't see the rest. So how many shows do you do? You go to town for 6 or 7 days?
Yeah, I have some layoffs. So I think my first layoff is the first week of December for a week. Okay. So sometimes I'll be able to come back home and stuff. But we're contracted now till July 8th of 2018. Oh, wow. By the end of the tour, we'll be going to LA, Kansas City, and Tampa, Florida. We're ending in Tampa as of now. And yeah, it's we're going through the U.S. We're going to London, Ontario. I've never been to Canada. I've never been to anywhere, really, so I'm super excited.
Well, you sound very excited.
Yeah.
So do you know, rehearsals haven't started yet?
No.
All right. So do you know I'm sure you've seen the show.
Yeah, I actually, we got the script and score a couple weeks ago. So I've been, studying up on lines and stuff. And I've been listening to the soundtrack just to get more familiar with the show. But I'm excited. Yeah.
Oh, good. So what do you think? when you only did school plays, the very limited runs, what do you think about being in something you may have to do hundreds of times?
Yeah, I mean, the really great thing about that is I was lucky enough to be in Mamma Mia this summer at Cap Rep, and their schedule is an 8-show week, which is like Broadway,
Oh, okay.
and which is like what I'll be doing, 8 shows a week.
Oh, okay.
So
Are there any two-a-days?
yeah,
Oh.
Saturday we'll have like Saturday matinees, Sunday matinees probably. But I think it was really great this summer to get that experience, having that schedule. And my track this summer in Mamma Mia was very dancey, very like energizing. I mean, the show itself is like a rock concert. So having that experience of, putting my body 150% every night, it's very hard. I didn't think it was going to be that hard, but it's no joke. But I love it, and I came out of every show with like a high. It's great. So I'm excited to apply that and have that experience to apply to Cinderella.
So do you know anyone else in the cast yet, or
Not yet.
So
I mean, actually, I had the opportunity to meet one person. He was in Ragtime this summer at Park.
Oh, okay.
But that's all. That's all.
Oh, well, this sounds very exciting. Let me ask you. I guess I have to do the obligatory questions here. But what does do you have a dream role you would like to play ultimately in your life?
Yeah.
You can say more than one. That's okay.
Okay. I need to play Catherine in Newsies.
I see. Okay.
I love that role. I'd love to play Belle again. I don't know. I'd love to. It's like the cliche answer, but I'd love to originate something.
Okay. Well, you're still. What did you say you were? Only
20.
All right. So you're 20. Okay. And what else? Do you have any favorite shows? I mean, I know you're steeped in all these shows.
Yeah. I mean, I actually grew up loving Cinderella, which is really cheesy, but I love it. I was Cinderella in 6th grade at San
But you've known this version with the Rodgers and Hammerstein since you were a kid.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's so fun to like. It's so ironic that this is the first like big thing that's happening for me. I mean, the cliche. I love Wicked. I saw it for the first time on Broadway, like when I was in the city, and it was unreal. I haven't even seen the show yet.
Oh, you mean recently?
Yeah. I saw it. I think I saw it in April. I won the lottery.
So when you were going to AMDA, did you get to go to shows?
Yeah, that's the nice thing about being in the city is Broadway, like 42nd Street, is literally a subway right away. So yeah, I saw a couple things. I saw She Loves Me, the revival recently. What else did I see? Wicked, Kinky Boots a couple times.
So you went. Okay, so you went more than once.
Yeah.
Do you have any favorite? Do you have any favorite composers?
Stephen Schwartz, Stephen Sondheim, all the classics. Like I love Sondheim. Ugh.
Yeah, well, very good. This sounds very exciting. Do you know if your tour is going to be anywhere near the Capital District?
Yeah, so
because you're on the website. I think you go to Rodgers and Hammerstein, Cinderella. It stops in January, but that's only that late.
Yeah, they only have a few tickets.
Do you think it will be coming close by us?
Yeah, so it's coming to Utica, New York. I'm sure what
well, people
exactly
can check the
theater
website.
is. Yeah, and then it's coming to West Point, New York.
Okay.
And for like the New York City people, New Brunswick, New Jersey, and Foxwoods Casino in Connecticut.
All right. So this is the tour starts. I'm sorry, you said rehearsal start
September 22nd.
So that's a whole month.
Yeah.
Oh wow! Well, this sounds very exciting. This is your first. Well, no, you're already in Capital Rep counts as a
Yeah, but it's first national tour.
All right. Well, this sounds like very fun. Well, Nicole, it's nice to meet you. Nice to thanks for stopping by.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Of course.
We wish you much success. So it's the website. You just Google Rodgers and Hammerstein Cinderella. You can find out the tour. But Utica's going to be the closest. It looks like. All right. And she's a Colonie graduate, 2015?
Yeah.
All right, 2015. You are only 20.
Yeah.
So. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
And we will see you next time on Getting to Know You.